Today we're here with the Freebeat Lit bike, which is an exercise bike like no other. It has features that gamify the workout experience, letting you have fun and play video games as you get healthier. Or at least that's what it's marketed as. Stick around to find out what we really think about it. This bike makes for an interactive workout experience. Right now there are 3 categories of classes that utilize instructors, music, and the bike in different ways to make it feel like you're working out against other Freebeat cyclists with a leaderboard and riding analytics. Freebeat is still a young company, but there's a lot of room for it to expand, especially if it keeps up its unique approach to something everyone hates, cardio. The bike has a great build quality and was packaged meticulously. The frame is made from welded steel, and after rocking around on it, it feels solid. The finish is evenly applied and assembly is straightforward and simple. Speaking of the frame, you have a couple different color options for the finish, but Adrian picked the color, so per usual we ended up with black instead of my favorite color, Moon Bow Beige. Regardless of what hipster color you choose, the flywheel comes with a wood-looking face that gives it a nice, sleek, completed look. The flywheel is only 15.5 pounds, which is really light compared to Peloton's 35 pounds. The heavier the wheel, the more the bike mimics outdoor cycling. But lighter wheels are better for beginners because they require less force to move. I can see why Freebeat went with the lighter wheel because of their style of classes, but it's still something to note. Personally, no matter how heavy or light the flywheel is, it still feels like I'm cycling inside staring at a screen. If they wanted me to feel like a real cyclist, then each bike would come with a pickup truck that would narrowly avoid hitting you during every class. The seat's pretty narrow, but comfortable, for a bike seat. There's also a sensor in it that will sense if you're in or out of the saddle while cycling. The pedals and turn knobby things, I'm not sure what I should call them, have a high quality feel. I especially like how the knobs are textured so that if you're sweaty, you can still easily adjust things. Though I'm not sure why the resistance knob's quality doesn't match the others. It seems like a weird corner to cut. The bike has magnetic resistance, which I have no complaints about. There's a large range of resistance offered, and it's smoothly applied. The screen pivots and is definitely large and clear enough for off-the-bike workouts that we'll talk about later. The wheels are placed at a logical position, making it easy to move the bike, which might seem like a given, but you'd be surprised how many pieces of equipment have borderline useless wheels. Needless to say, I was pleasantly surprised by the overall quality of the bike. And another piece of good news, the frame has a 10-year warranty and the screen has a 1-year warranty. Though be warned, I have seen some negative things about their customer service, but I have not personally experienced anything bad with them. The bike also has Bluetooth compatibility, meaning you can run all the audio through headphones, and the bike is silent while riding on it. Meaning, if you're like me with a new baby, you could work out with the sleeping baby in the room and only have to worry about your own cries of despair waking them. Now that we've talked about the whole physical bike, let's talk about the classes and the gaming aspect of the training, what we liked and what still needs work. There are 3 different types of classes you can take: cycling, sculpting, and stretching. We'll start with the least exciting category of class, and that is stretching. It is the smallest selection, and all the classes are 15 minutes. It seems like these are targeted more for after or before you've completed cycling for the day, as a sort of warm-up or cool down. While the classes are good with an instructor walking you through various stretches, it's nothing better than you can find on YouTube for free. But if you're sick of free content, you can check out our Patreon in the description. That's where we tease things we'll be reviewing in the near future, like when I did a rundown on this bike. The Patreon also allows for more direct line of communication between you and us. Not that I'm sure why anyone would pay to talk to us, but I know our fans have paid for weirder. Next, we have the sculpting. And these classes utilize dumbbells with the goal being to sculpt your muscles through various quick exercises. They break the sculpting classes into categories like upper, lower, and full body. These classes are good. It would be a nice way to break up your training to include more than just cycling. I do like how you have the option of challenging yourself here by either upping the weight of your dumbbells or keeping pace with the trainer. Right now, I don't see the gamification present in either of these first 2 categories. Now, what you actually bought the bike for: cycling. This is by far the biggest selection, and the cycling classes are exactly what you think they are. It's using the bike with the recorded instructor coaching you along. The gaming feature is the fact that as you cycle, you're aiming to be on beat with the music playing. The cadence is on the bottom left corner. You want to either hit the hard or easy speed so that when your foot is at the bottom of the pedal, you're on beat. The more on beat you are, the more combos you have, and the higher your score will be. When you're out of the saddle, the bike recognizes that and you get more points. The cool thing about your score is there's a leaderboard that refreshes as you ride, so you can see where you stand among other Freebeat cyclists. Just don't look at the #1 score, or you'll live in constant fear of meeting whatever greyhound of a person achieved that. If you are competitive, the music egging you on as well as the leaderboard will help you get a little bit more out of your workouts. The classes are either 15 or 30 minutes, ranging difficulty from beginner to intermediate. Now's the time to talk about my major complaint that really made me dislike this bike at first. As I said previously, the resistance is magnetic and can be applied by spinning this dial. Or you have the option for the bike to automatically adjust the resistance based on the instructor's cues. I think this would have been a great idea if that's what it actually did. Instead, the resistance changes based on your riding and not the trainer's cues at all, which is both aggravating and confusing, especially when auto resistance is explained in 2 different ways on their website. Another issue is depending on the class, let's say you have 4 songs. They could each have different maximum and minimum levels of resistance. So you can start a class with the resistance being 5 to 18. And then when the song changes, the new resistance is 8 to 25. In my opinion, it's not good to change the range of resistance because then it becomes confusing as to if you're pushing yourself past where you were or not. And when the instructor tells you to crank the wheel twice, that would mean different things depending on the current range. After a couple swearing-filled rides, I figured out that if you want to follow along with the instructor, you're better off just manually adjusting the resistance. And if you are doing non-instructor riding, like on their scenic cycling options, it's best to keep the auto resistance on so it can simulate and add variety. Once I figured that out, I enjoyed cycling much more and actually gone to the classes and had fun. For all of the Freebeat bikes, the riders need to be under 300 pounds and between 5 foot and 6'4", which is sort of funny because they proudly claim they're sponsor of the Celtics, but with that height limit, not even a quarter of the team could use it. Maybe that's why they sponsored this video, so they could get some feedback from someone who falls within that height range. Now, this bike isn't cheap. That being said, Freebeat seems like one of those companies where everything is always on sale, and you can use code Gluck for an additional $100 off. And make sure you're using the affiliate links in the description to keep supporting the channel. And remember, every time you buy something without using an affiliate link, a fairy dies. Now, time for the worst possible thing any exercise equipment can have, and that's a subscription fee, which is $40 a month, and you really can't do anything except pedal the bike without it. You do get a free 45-day trial when buying the bike, but you have to enter a credit card to get it, which stinks. But the good thing is that with one paid membership, you can have up to 10 different registered accounts. Overall, I still hate cardio. But this is a well-made bike, and I don't have any fear of it wearing down with use. The sculpting and stretching classes were nothing special, but it's nice to be given a range if you ever got sick of cycling. The actual cycling classes were enjoyable. I hope in the future they come up with more themed rides, like emo rides, where it's all early 2000s emo music, so the lyrics will reflect your inner cardio-fueled turmoil. Or hard rock, where you can really headbang while cycling. I think the music and gaming aspect of cycling is where the classes shine, and they should capitalize on that more. The good news is this is a newer company and more and different classes will come out, so you'll get an even bigger collection to choose from. Thanks for watching. I won't see you next week.